In this video, we are going to learn what a reference angle is and how to find it. Let's find the reference angle for 327 degrees. Alright, now 327 degrees, let's start by drawing a sketch of that. Alright, so we're shooting for 327 degrees. Now let's count off the quadrantal angles as we go around. So a positive degree measure means we go counterclockwise like this. If I go this far, I'm at 90 degrees. If I go this far, now I'm at 180 degrees. If I go this far, then I'm at 270 degrees. Alright, I'm shooting for 327. Now, obviously, if I went all the way around back to where I started from, that would be 360 degrees. Alright, now I don't want to go quite that far, so I need to back up a little bit. Okay, so my terminal angle is going to be somewhere in here. Okay, somewhere in this quadrant. By the way, what quadrant is this? The quadrants go first, second, third, fourth. So this is the fourth quadrant. Okay, so if I go to here and stop, I've drawn a picture of 327 degrees. In fact, let me put it over here. 327 degrees. Now, here's the thing. Reference angle. Alright, I'm going to use the letter theta right now. If I put theta right here, that's the reference angle. The reference angle is the angle that's formed by the x-axis and the terminal side of whatever angle you're talking about. Alright, so it would be theta right here. Now, we need to find out what that is. It would be helpful if I went back to the way I was talking about it before. Remember when I said, okay, if I went all the way around, okay, obviously that would be 360 degrees. So if I start from that 360 degrees and I subtract away the pink part, alright, remember that pink part, that's the 327 degrees I was drawing. This is the 327 degrees. So if I start with my entire 360, okay, if I start with my entire 360 and I subtract the 327, blink, can you see that that should be this last little portion, the last part of the journey? So let's look at that. 360 minus what was it, 327? Better check. Yep. That means that last part of the journey is 33 degrees. And that is my reference angle, 33 degrees. It's always the angle that's being formed with the x-axis. Alright, and when you're talking about reference angles, you're always going to give it as a positive. Okay, you'll never say a reference angle and say negative 33 degrees. Alright, you're just going to say 33 degrees. Alright, let's go again. 563 degrees. Alright, I'm trying to go 563 degrees. Notice that that is more than 360. So let's get the full rotations out of the way first. If I went a full 360 degrees, you understand that gets us back to where we started from. So far, I've gone 360 degrees. Okay? If I do that again, okay, have I gone too far? Well, yeah, that's going to be over 563 degrees. So let's slow down. Alright, so I've gone 360 degrees so far. Now let's go piece by piece and see what we got. So now I'm going to continue on, and starting from here. Alright, so far I had 360 degrees. Now if I go an additional 90, maybe I'll just keep track as I go. So 360 degrees plus the extra 90, now we're at 450 degrees. Okay, I'm shooting for 563. If I go another 90, now I'm at 540 degrees. Alright, I'm getting closer. What if I went another 90? Okay, that didn't do it. I must have hit the wrong key. 540 plus 90. 630 degrees. I've gone too far. I don't want to go that far, so I'm going to back off, and but that tells me that my terminal side is going to be somewhere in this quadrant, and I'll just draw it this way, going up to that side. Okay, so this is a picture of 563 degrees. Now remember that the reference angle is the angle formed with the x-axis. So the reference angle is going to be this angle right here. Alright, this is what we're hunting for. So let's start subtracting until theta here is all that is left. Anytime we have something bigger than 360, let's start by subtracting that away. So imagine that I took away the 360. Alright, what's going to be left so far? So 563, alright, minus 360. Alright, that leaves 203 degrees. Okay, what would that look like in the picture? Remember, the 360 degrees is this first trip all the way around. So if I take away that first trip, alright, that leaves this. So this pink part that's here now is my 203 degrees. Alright, because I took away the extra revolution of 360. Alright, so fine, 203 degrees. I still need to know what this is. Now look, I have now gone past 180 degrees, and this reference angle is how far past 180 degrees. So because look at it this way, in terms of the 203 degrees, I hit 90 right here, and then I hit 180 right here, and then I kept going. So if I take away the 180, imagine that I took away this 180. Okay, imagine that I erased that. Shouldn't that just leave the reference angle? So let's do that. 203 minus the 180. That's going to leave 23 degrees. Whoops. So that means this reference angle is 23 degrees. Okay, let's see, can I make that go away? So again, think about it. 180 plus an extra 23. The 23 degrees is what we wanted. Alright, the reference angle is always going to be positive. Let's do it one more time. Negative 197 degrees this time. Okay, I'm going to draw negative 197 degrees. Just making sure that that's right. Okay. Now remember, the negative direction is clockwise. So let's count off the quadrantal angles as I go clockwise. If I go this far, so far I've gone negative 90 degrees. Alright, got to keep going. If I go this far, now I've gone negative 180 degrees. Okay, I'm getting pretty close. In fact, if I were to go this far, that would be negative 270 degrees. And that's too far. So I can't go that far. So that means I need to stop short somewhere in this quadrant. Alright, I'm just going to draw it right here. Alright, so somewhere in the second quadrant. Quadrants go 1, 2, 3, 4. So somewhere in the second quadrant is where we have to stop. Okay, so this pink that I've just drawn is negative 197 degrees. Now, we need the reference angle. That's our goal. The reference angle is the angle formed with the x-axis. So this is going to be my reference angle right here because here's the x-axis. It's always going to be positive. So again, I'm looking and I see if I had stopped here, that would have been 180 degrees. All right, negative 180 degrees. But for the reference angle, let's just talk in terms of travel. So I've gone 180 degrees. So I need to know how much more than 180 degrees is this, because that extra is my reference angle. So basically, if I subtract 180 degrees, okay, imagine I did that. Subtracting 180 degrees would be like taking away these two portions. So can you see that that should leave the reference angle? So what is that? Of course, you can do this in your head. But just in case you can't, 17 degrees. That's the difference. So that's why the reference angle here is 17 degrees. Okay, and always positive. The reference angle is always positive. All right, one more problem, and that'll be the end of this video. Name 4 angles between 0 and 360 with a reference angle of 20 degrees. All right, let's draw this thing. All right, so let's understand that reference angles are always measured from the x-axis. So the 4 angles they're talking about are like this. All right, that would be a reference angle. All right, and let's say that these are equal, then this would be the same theta would be here, again measured with the x-axis, and again it'd be the same here, and it would be the same here. So all 4 of these angles would be reference angles because each one is measured against the x-axis. So basically, look at this picture and imagine that that it's 20 degrees, and let's find each one of these things. Okay, so the first one, all right, if theta here is 20 degrees, okay, imagine that each of these are 20. Okay, so this is 20, and this is 20, and that's 20, and this is 20. So let's find our angles. So the first one that has a reference angle of 20 is going to be this one right here. Okay, so it seems obvious, but it's one of the 4. All right, that is in fact a 20-degree angle, positive 20 degrees. So that's going to be the first one. Okay, where do I want it? Okay, so the first one is simply the original 20 degrees. Okay, now what's next? All right, the next one is going to be this one. Okay, the one that goes right here. So let's see. It's a matter of figuring out how many degrees this is from there to there. Okay, well, there's no way for us to just directly get that. But what we can know is that if we went just a little bit further, that would be 180 degrees. So we're not quite going that far. We're stopping short. How short are we? Well, if I take back that last little bit, that would be like subtracting the 20, because I know how big that is. So it's 180 degrees, take away 20 degrees, and of course that is going to be 160 degrees. So this must be 160 degrees. Alright, so 2 down, 2 to go. So we did this one and we did this one. So that brings us to this one. Okay. So we're doing this one now. We've got to figure out how many degrees that is. Alright, how many degrees it is from here to here. Like that. I don't like the way I drew that. Let me try again. Let me go the big way like that. Okay, we're trying to figure out how many degrees that is. Well, don't worry directly about, because we don't know how much this is in here. I mean, we could figure it out. But the easiest thing to do is to realize, look, if we had stopped right here, at that point we had 180 degrees. Okay, right up to here, that's 180 degrees. But look, we went just 20 degrees more than that. So that's 180 degrees plus the extra 20. So that's going to be 200 degrees. Okay, so that is what we needed. All right, 3 down, 1 more to go. Okay, so we did this one, we did this one, and we did this one. So the only one left is this one. Okay, so we need to figure out how many degrees this is. Okay, that's the angle that we're trying to find right now, the fourth angle. Now, again, the easiest thing to do is imagine that we went the rest of the way. If we went the rest of the way, that would have been a full 360 degrees, right? But we didn't. We stopped short. How short did we stop? Well, just take away that last 20 degrees, because we know that. So it was a full 360 minus the last 20. Okay, so that should be 340 degrees. Alright, so that's how you can find 4 reference angles, all positive, between 0 and 360, that had a reference angle of 20. And that is the end of this lesson. I hope it was helpful and hope to see you on the next video.